This is the Kennametal Extrude Hone Vector 200 series abrasive flow polishing, honing, and deburring machine.
And yeah, got an 8-inch media cylinder up here. We got the control that's currently sleeping. Two-hand control up front for our clamping. We are currently filled up with way more media than we need, of course, but we're going to run a little sample program here with a die that I have on the side. Want to check out the rest of the machine? We'll come around and do something. I'll power it up. We'll push this through a little bit, but we're almost full with the media. The bridge, I don't know. I don't think we're all the way up yet. We'll check once we power up the oil. So that's about it up here with the two-hand controls. Got a stack of books back here with the program in there, schematics, parts, drawings, everything's in there. I left the back end off just so get a good look at what they look like anyhow. This one's in nice shape. The whole hydraulic manifold on the right-hand side here. That's the Haskell air over oil booster down there to get us up to about 1900 psi clamp pressure. And this is just a loose air line that'll go on later. I'm using my own right now. And inside the panel is the PLC and all the I/O sitting in there. I think it's a Micrologic, so I'm not sure what size. And you're leaning on the hydraulic power pack here. Got it all temped in. That's my lines here, currently running at 480 volts through this box right here. And the whole back side of it down low is my 2 oil line hookup, my electrics, and my temporary air package here, with, of course, heat control on here. I should say temperature control that we currently don't have piped in. We don't need it, because we're deburring nothing. Yeah. And the screen's sleeping. We have it under power. We can wake that up. If you want, I can go through a couple things on the screen here. Basically 2 screens here. This is a running screen right here and a setup screen. This one shows cylinder up, down, process time, cycles, all picked out. All of this is picked out on the next page, which I can show. Standard, manual, auto. We won't get into the back pages for various items as far as system is concerned. We're just going to concern ourselves here with operational aspects. So retract and advance of the upper and lower cylinders, and here's unclamped cylinder. In fact, it runs quiet enough. We can turn this thing on, let it power up, and this is unclamped, and I wasn't sure. We're still not all the way up. If you want to take a look at that, this thing goes up pretty good. It's a little bit farther. It's pretty much it there, and that's there. So that's sitting, and we show the media is fully in the bottom cylinder, of course. You'll see that go up and down when we run, and the only other page is set right here. So I'm calling for 3 cycles, which is 1 time up and down, which is 6 times up and down. Volume 200 cubic inches, which would be 400 cubic inches per cycle. Again, media pressure, I'm only pushing 600 pounds through a temporary die setup here, which is just basically some slotted holes cut through some plastic here. So it goes through quite easily. I don't need a lot. So with that said, I'm only going to push it at 600. Media temp is set for 80. I left it there because, again, we're not running water. We're not trying to control temperature right now. This one does have the auto back pressure option on it, which is kind of nice. Right now it's blinking back pressure mode, or you can go to flow rate mode, and I'm just leaving them both at once. So the flow rate mode, it actually puts pressure on the upper cylinder and holds it at a fixed cubic inch per second flow. If you just give back pressure, you just dial in whatever number you want at back pressure, and it's a constant. It doesn't change as it goes up and down. On the last 2, trip pressure is the percentage at which you want it to start actually clocking on the media pressure. So we're going to start clocking at 70% of 600. It will start counting just to push all the air pockets out. So, and the retract cylinders time out for a couple of seconds. That's in there. So we're going to leave all that alone. And so basically we're going up and down at 200 cubic inches 3 times, 600 psi. And that's about it. I'm just going to throw this up there again. This is all just temporary. It may leak out a little bit, it may not, but I think I'm right around 1800, 1900 clamp pressure. Let's see what we get, which is basically based on that air pressure down there. I think I'm around 60 PSI on the regulator. Right around 60 gives me just enough to go into auto mode here at about 18, 19. I think the max on here is only supposed to be 2000 PSI. I'm pretty close to that. Now this is all off and on, it works pretty good. We can go all the way down on here. You can probably hear the air booster pump kick in. We're clamped up now. I'm gonna go back to my other page and see what this thing has nice readouts all over the place. So there's our clamp pressure, 1800. If it wasn't enough, I wouldn't have that clamp right there. So it's showing clamp, so I have enough pressure to satisfy the switches and run the cycle. So all I really have to do right now is hit auto, and it'll start pushing it up, and let's see what happens. We'll go up and down, like I said, 3 cycles. You'll watch the blue, there it goes. Moves it through pretty fast. Not much to see at the tool. If you watch all this, it's kind of fun. And switching, as you can see, I'm not using the whole cylinder. I'm barely using half the cylinder at 200 cubic inches. It's switching already, see? When it hits the bottom, it'll be second cycle. We'll shoot for number 2. There's 2, 1 more to go. You can change all of these on the fly too in the other page if you want. The pressure, number of cycles, how much media pressure, all of that. That's the end, and now you see both of these retract at the same time. There they go. It doesn't unclamp, but it does retract the bottom and top cylinder. And you'll notice everything stays in the lower cylinder for the next process. And even though I'm not running the temperature control, it still reads it out at 85. I think we were calling for 80, weren't we? And I'm at 85. So if I had water on in the system, it would turn on right now to get it down to 80. So, and for what it's worth, I'll just do one more. I'll leave it right here, go right back. I think I can go right back into auto. Yeah, it's a short run. Normally you would have unclamped and changed parts, but just to watch the process. And nothing changes here. You can't really see anything, yeah. It's all on this page. Now the top cylinder is advancing. Whichever one's blinking, that's what's happening. Last one. Now both of them for a couple of seconds, and what I generally do is just to make sure I get all my media down low. Advance the top cylinder is already all the way down. I'm just going to push it the rest of the way to make sure we're all the way in. That might be about it, and then retract the bottom cylinder. There we go. And unclamp, which is right here. You're gonna watch here maybe, and I'll take it up halfway, whatever's hanging out here. Yeah, basically for the next part, yeah, you just kind of clean up your media, bring that off there, change parts, and you're pretty much good to go after that. So that's all I generally do. But I'm not running parts, so it's easy for me to say. There's a little bit left up on top, maybe. That's about it right there. Top cylinder is just about clean now. And that's it. This goes away, we're all set. That said, shut it down. I think we're open far enough anyway. And that's right, this is all for high color. Here we go. Good to go.